We would like to take this time to recognize our sponsors and underwriters. Attorney Lee Van Richardson, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, Temple of Refuge Ministries, Reflections Paint and Body Shop, Diva Skin Conditioner, Helping Hands Lawn Service, Prairie View Athletic Club, The Purple Drip Daiquiri and Grill. If you or your business would like to be a part of our sponsors and underwriters team, feel free to reach out to us at 832-213-8824. It's the radio guy, Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode of the Mike Prince Show here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Of course, it's our daily mission to try and bring you some news that you could use. Our social media handle for Twitter is at the Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network. Of course, our website is obnradio.com. And the 24-hour dial-in message line, 713-570-6736. And without any further delay, we're going to jump right into today's episode. A very short schedule on yesterday. In fact, it was Makeup Wednesday. Alabama State women's program victorious over Grambling State Tigers by the score of 69-61. The only game on the docket for the Southwestern Athletic Conference on yesterday. We were able to catch up with head basketball coach for the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, Coach Sandy Pugh. Tough times for the Panthers right now, but as the saying goes, tough times don't last, but tough people do. We were able to break down some of the current challenges of the Panthers, who are currently in contact tracing protocol, which is why they will not be playing on Saturday, and they'll pick things back up on Monday against Alabama State. We'll now hear from Coach Sandy Pugh on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. Welcome back to the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. We have on the line with us today none other than head basketball coach of the Prairie View A&M University women's program, Coach Sandy Pugh. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing well, Mike. Good to be on with you today.
Yes, ma'am. As I say, it's been a while, but I know things have been going on up and down, and it's not the pleasant start that we were looking for, but we got to start somewhere, and the only way is up from now. How have you been dealing with this one, Coach?
You know what? It's definitely been a trying year for us in a lot of ways, on and off the court. But we've been hanging tough, Mike. I mean, it's part of the process. It's part of sports. You're gonna have years where you're healthy and fat, and years when bringing in as many kids as we did, it's been lean, and having some other concerns crop up unforeseen has kind of put us in a position we didn't anticipate, but we're weathering the storm.
Absolutely, and weathering the storm is really an understatement. You've had a couple of games that have been postponed, and the latest updates is that Saturday's game will be postponed. Now it's more of a concern, can you make up these games, and if so, what are the plans for that, Coach?
Well, the games that we've missed, the Alabama A&M game, the Mississippi Valley, and the UAPB games, we're all three of those we're in negotiations to make those up the first, second week of February. So it's just a matter of getting approval because we might have to make some slight adjustments, might have to play twice at home, play Monday and turn around and play again on Wednesday. Or it might be a case where we might have to leave out early and go up and play a game and then go into our traditional schedule that Saturday. So right now we're in negotiation with the other coaches as to what can be done. Then they have to get approval from their AD, as well as we have to have approval, too, for the change in the shift. And then the conference has to approve it. And then once that happens, we can put the games on schedule. So we're real close to finalizing the Valley and the UAPB games. The A&M game is going to be more of a challenge for us.
Okay, and understanding that the Valley and the Pine Bluff game, they were road games, so you have to try to coordinate that the next time you hit the road, or will you kind of flip it and play them home and then make up going on the road later? How will that work out?
Well, we're in negotiation right now to play Valley at their place. We're trying to get it negotiated where we could possibly catch it on one of our road swings. The other game to possibly play it here if that team is, playing Southern or something like that.
We're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline with Coach Sandy Pugh of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Now, Coach, you have had a storied career. Your work speaks for itself. It's easy to show up day in and day out when you're on the upside of things. With you having the slow start that you've had thus far for this 2021 season, what have you learned about your team and what have you learned about yourself during this challenging moment?
Well, if you look at our games and if you look at stats, some people are stat people, some people aren't. I mean, we lead the conference in field goal percentage. So basically, you're the best offensive team in the league, but that isn't coming to fruition because we're not getting a lot of easy baskets that we would traditionally get if you had a normal situation where a point guard could push the ball in transition or you could get out in transition and get those opportunities. So we're putting a lot of stress on our half-court game, and so that's one avenue. Another one is we got to go get some rebounds. We got to go hit the boards. We're one of the biggest teams in the league, and I just don't think we've been very good there. And then, of course, the biggest Achilles heel is turnovers. We're averaging 21 plus turnovers. We're one of the top in the league in that, and you can't be successful that way. The only team I really felt that we were out of the game in the fourth quarter was Jackson at our place. And that was, we really depend on her. She's our toughness meter. She's the kid that's the floor general. I mean, the tough kid that gets those rebounds and gets in there and pumps everybody up. And she was disqualified early in that game, and you could see the difference in the team without her being on that court. And of course, people having to accept new roles. Our point guard opted out on us, and so you have to take your backup PG and put her over there full time, and she's learning. And it's a process. Did I anticipate being, and whatever? Nope. Do I like being and whatever? I think if you know me, you already know the answer to that. And,
if you like that, Coach, we got a problem.
do I foresee, a turnaround? Definitely. Meeting with the kids, we've been on protocol for 10 days now. As soon as we can come off, I'm eager to see the where we are mentally, because I think a lot of our issues is not about talent, it's not about ability, it's about what we're bringing to the table emotionally and how we're addressing each and every game. So we have some demons to squash there. And as soon as we can get that ironed out and get them, back into a comfort zone where they feel comfortable going out and competing within their roles, I think you'll definitely see a turnaround. We have some games that are coming up here at home. We play on Monday. We have Alabama State. They just lost to Southern. It has to start somewhere. I think Alabama State is one of the better teams in the league. Good athletes. They have a senior core. Those kids have been playing together a long time. But, we have to step up to the plate and play defensively and as well offensively, force some turnovers and not give up those turnovers and run our half-court offense. And there's no doubt in my mind, you could look up and we could be one of the final teams standing. I just think this conference and everything is just that all over right now. To me, it's anybody's ball game. And, you don't count out anyone, because the one thing I know about this league, I've seen 8 seeds beat 1 seed. You see it all. So we're just slow starting. I think that's the approach from our staff that we're going with. that we still have to get them playing together on a consistent basis, but more importantly, playing together for 4 quarters, not just 2. Because I think in the last few games we were pretty solid for 2 quarters, and then the third quarter we came out really flat, and that team got their energy up, and then we were like, oh, wait a minute, they didn't just quit on us. So I just think that we've got to figure this out. And from talking to our kids via Zoom, I think they're in a good place mentally. I think they see. And I think, I think this little downtime with the contact tracing might have been a great benefit for us to try to get, a mental back on track.
Absolutely, because the talent is definitely there, Coach, and you made mention of the lack of ability to close at the second half of the contest, because in most of the cases you were either very close, if not in the lead, of your first half opponents, and then something about that third period, as you alluded to moments ago, that caused a stumbling block. And then as you realize, hey, we're in a contest for 4 quarters, it's a little bit, I won't say that you lose, but you just run out of time of getting back on tracks for the successful run that's needed. And when you look at these games that are coming up, and it only takes one, you got to start somewhere. And at this point, realistically, at least what I've been looking at, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, not trying to settle, but we just want to make 8 right now. If we can get to that 8th spot, we have a fighter's chance to make it to the tournament, and then anything, as you alluded to earlier, can happen from there.
We only brought back 3 kids to play last year. We only had three returning kids. We had a ton of kids opt out. We've had probably more opt-outs than anybody else in the nation, I think. That's neither here nor there. The bottom line is the ones who are here have to buy in to what we're trying to accomplish. And more importantly, they gotta maintain their poise. I think, and coaches like to use that word a lot, because that's pretty much what happens to teams when they deflate, or, you go in at halftime and then come out and then something doesn't go quite the way you anticipated, and you deflate or you lose your poise. And so I've always been a staunch believer in having a great point guard on the court, because she's that floor general, she's that leader, she's the one that makes that everybody trusts in, and that she's going to take care of the basketball, and she's going to do all of these things and make sure everybody's in position so that they can do their job. So when that head is gone, it's hard to keep the rest of the body in play, because you have situations where it should be a routine execution, and you get a layup, and you'll look up and a kid will take a 3-ball inadvertently early in the shot clock, and you're up 7 in the fourth quarter. And you're looking like, well, why would you take that early in the shot clock? And she was like, well, I was open. And the old saying is, there's a reason why you open. But we need to do a better job of clock maintenance and moving the ball around. And, and all of that comes from, being in those positions, being able to decipher where you are, time and distance and place, and in the game, and are we up, are we down, do we need that shot? So they're still learning, and one thing I can say about this crew is they're a great group of kids. I mean, on the Zoom call, they were very open and honest about their feelings and where they are. And one of them told me, she said, Coach, I just took a whole couple of days and I didn't even think about basketball. She said, because I felt like I was doing things on the court that were just unnatural for me. And I was sitting there like shaking my head like, yeah. But, we kind of laugh about it. But the bottom line is even they recognize, some of the things that were happening on the floor weren't, normal for them. So I just think we were just pressed. And so, the biggest thing I think now is maybe we're going to be a little bit more relaxed, and we can come out and play our brand of basketball and stay focused, stay in tune, and stay aware of where we are, what's going on, and we can get that dub.
We're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline with Coach Sandy Pugh of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Off to an 0-5 start in conference play, but there is still light at the end of the tunnel. And, Coach, I'm looking at this thing as the glass is half full versus that of half empty. And with the reshuffling, the players that have opted out, you have to work with what you have. Have you discovered any diamonds in the rough at this point? And if you care to share who that might be.
Well, I think the big three, KP and Ken Hurd and Diana Rosenthal, I think those kids, we have to center our focus around those three kids because they were here last year. They have the experience. They know their positions. They know where the shots are coming from within the floor of the offense. KP has really been shooting the ball well for us at the mid-range. We got to get her more shots. And we got to limit our turnovers. Our bigs have got to go to the boards, the O boards, and get us some offensive rebounds. I think we're going to put more emphasis on those items as we go down, come back into conference play on Monday.
Okay, the Panthers will not be playing on Saturday due to COVID protocol, and we're praying that all is well on that. But the tip-off will begin on Monday. And I'm going to go out on a limb, Coach, and say that the first dub will be at home against Alabama State on Monday night, and it will be the beginning of a wonderful run by the Panthers.
Well, Mike, I'm with you. I think, I think we're going to be ready to go. We have, unfortunately, we had to cancel Saturday. Because we couldn't get our testing in. You have to test 3 times. But we'll have enough practice time to prepare for Alabama State. So we're looking forward to it, and I know the kids are ready to get back to playing, and they're energized. I'm totally optimistic that you're going to be right.
Well, Coach, here's one thing that I truly appreciate about you, and I don't have a problem sharing it. I know this is a tough time, a difficult time for you to come, but you're being a trooper. You're being, let me just say, professional at coming in and facing the music in a not-so-pleasant time, and your openness and candidness is truly appreciated, which is why we love you here at the Open Mic. And I want to take the time to give you some closing thoughts and comments at this time, and the floor is now yours, ma'am.
Well, we just got to get this team up and going. Like I said before, I think that we have the ingredients still to be successful. Hopefully on Monday night we can come out and do what we do and shine and get that dub and this ball rolling because we ready. I'm ready.
Well, as it says in Proverbs, as a man, and I will say / woman thinketh, so is he. You are great because you were created from greatness, and the tide will turn on Monday night. She is Coach Sandy Pugh of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers, down but not out, and soon to rise again. I'm the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you guys so much for joining in with us. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. And the YouTube channel is the Open Mic Broadcast Network. The time on the wall tells us that is all, and we must exit stage left for right now. But until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.